reason we need that is because we need to be able to go through economic cycles. Once we have the data, our next origination or the next loan that we're going to buy, we can then proxy against all the data we already have to get a valuation on that loan or asset. Now, we all know any one loan or asset is very hard to predict. Someone could win the lottery, someone could lose their job. But when we start to get into thousands or tens of thousands of loans or assets, these predictive models are very good. The math works. And so if we can think about 20 different asset classes, all the data around it, right, and all of our database management people managing this data, having predictive models and having diversification, that's our edge in the marketplace.
Could you put into perspective just the size of the data? Like how big is a file on auto loans or something along those lines?
Sure. For auto loans, we have, there's been $20 billion of applications, within our business, and we've accepted or originated about 7 billion of loans. Another example, we're looking at a bank wants us to finance a 2,000 loan small and medium enterprise portfolio for them in Europe. And so against those 2,000 loans, we have a database of 200,000 loans. And again, we're trying to match up the characteristics of those loans, right? And look at what the payoff profile is on those 2,000 loans that we're being offered, and how well does that fit into our portfolio?
Thank you. And then Pascal, how does Storm use technology, and can you talk about the importance of investing in software from a VC standpoint?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, and nice to meet you all in person. So Storm is a VC firm based in Menlo Park, and we focus on B2B enterprise software. So basically, we're trying to find companies, businesses, helping other businesses streamlining their workflows that can be either manual, pen and paper, or Excel that requires manual work, or that has not been fully optimized. And we basically focus on companies that are at product market fit. What does that mean? Roughly, companies that are getting close and accelerating to $1 million in recurring revenue. So these companies are usually up to $1 million in recurring revenue. You can see the CEO usually selling. And when you sell your business link to a business, it usually requires a human being to talk to somebody in the business. And so we see a lot of breakage between company getting to $1 million in recurring revenue to 10 million. Usually, there's a frustration from the CEO thinking, I can sell. Why can't I hire a sales rep? And that sales rep, why can't he sell? What's wrong, right? What's wrong with him? And nothing is wrong with the sales rep. It's just that the CEO has a magic touch. And so what we're trying to do, and what we focus and specialize in, is what we call unlocking growth, helping companies cross $1 million in ARR and exponentially grow. Because you see a lot of companies crossing $1 million in recurring revenue, and then the growth slowly gets to 5 million, and it's not really what a VC expects. But for us, we really try to be hands-on and help companies accelerate across that million. And to do so, we work very closely on sales and marketing and helping them build what we call the sales playbook. The ability to articulate how many touch points are needed from the first discussion with a prospect to a close, and articulate and document every step of that sales playbook, which then will be helpful for the sales rep to ramp up and be able to hit quota after 2 to 3 months. So that's what we focus on. And we're looking for these companies that are showing signals of getting that sales playbook, that when somebody else and the CEO can sell, it's a very good signal for us. So that's kind of what we're looking for and the type of investments we make. What's available in terms of tools today is mostly tools for companies that are already raised a seed or a Series A. Companies that are like 4, 5, 6 million in recurring revenue. And these tools like PitchBook, CB Insight, if you're familiar with them, these tools will be very good at documenting and finding data on these companies that are past product market fit. And so for us, it's not very useful, because we're looking for companies that are before that. And so how do you find them? And a lot of the sourcing we do has to do with personal relationship. We have a very diverse team. I'm French. I cover Europe. I'm American too, by the way, as of last year, but like I've a double nationality. And so we all kind of, one of my partner is Korean, another partner is Indian. So we cover a lot and build relationship with a lot of seed funds to get that sourcing and that deal flow. But we don't scale, and it's hard for us to really know where to spend our time. And we have great companies around the world, but like where should we spend our time in terms of looking at new companies we can invest in? And so that's why during COVID, that networking ability was reduced because we couldn't meet in person. We couldn't have these side discussions at networking events. So we thought, well, how can we replace that serendipity? How we can help ourselves, with good deal flow. So we decided to find public signals available and scrape those to help us understand which startup is growing. The only way we could do that is because we're so laser focused. We look at B2B enterprise software companies that are under $1 million in revenue. So it's not like we're boiling the ocean. We can find these startups that are early, maybe at like 200 or 300K in revenue, and then track these signals, and then see which one is growing faster. So we know where to spend our time. So all of a sudden, it becomes manageable. So we build a little product, a little MVP. Nothing to compare to these two guys that are like managing a ton of data. This is a bit more homegrown type of little experimentation. And so one of the signal we're looking at is, for instance, number of employees, right? And again, it's not like from 100 to 200. We're talking about like 7 employees to maybe 15 very quickly. What does that mean? It means something is happening, something is growing, right? And so we get these signals, like we look at our signals as well, but like were good signals. We decided to put in our overall score to decide which company we should engage with and look at. So that's kind of like the story of, again, like very basic tool, but it's been tremendous in helping us spend the time we need to, the little time we have to spend in the right places.
Thank you. And so maybe that's a good transition to our second topic, which is how has software adoption changed, and what does your R&D pipeline look going forward? So that means, are you looking at future software that you can integrate, or to build your own software? And why don't you start, Pascal?
Yeah, so we're trying to make that little product we built a bit more productized and being able, right now we're tracking 1,000 companies. So we'd like to get to 2, 3, 4, 5,000. That's one of the goal we have. And so having more coverage with the 5 people in the investment team. So that's one. The other thing we're thinking about is this ability we have of helping companies articulate the sales playbook. We build a lot of workshops around that. And so we really encourage the companies, like fill an Excel spreadsheet. And we talk about like the wow factor in the demo to really understand what gets the prospect to buy the platform or the tools they're selling. So we talk about like the date wow. It's like when you talk to a prospect and he's willing to take another meeting, that's the dating wow. And then the marry me wow is when the person is willing to buy. And we have like developed a very nice workshop around that. And we're thinking that moving forward, we're going to productize that and make the CEO kind of document the notes from the sales meeting